Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your evil hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason, Corey, Elgin, and Spoody.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where a punk rock band of brothers get together to talk about one of our shared loves, toy collecting. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because it's the most unnatural thing in the world to hear you say "Yo, Joe."
It is.
It's
I'm
hilarious.
not a Joe guy, but I found myself recently saying "yo" a lot. Like that's how I greet people that come into work and stuff.
Hey,
I say "yo, yo, 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 yo," and
because remembering names is hard.
It is very hard. But anyway, we love how these little pieces of colorful plastic can turn us all into kids again, and we're here to celebrate that. So let's get started. Let's introduce the band, the podcasters. Let's start first with the lead vocals, rhythm guitar.
Corey.
Yes, Corey, Mr. G.I. Joe Interrupter himself. Up next, excited. I know, he prematured that one a little bit.
I kind of did.
On vocals and lead guitar, and the true master of the universe, the polite one we learned in the last episode, Elgin Arney.
Yo.
That's right, yo. You
Yo.
forgot my name. Great. We'll get to that. Up next, the guy on the bass. He's more than meets the eye. He's our Transformers guy. He's Spoody.
I still hate you.
I know. But we're brothers, and you can't get rid of me. Lastly, on drums, bringing his love of horror and Funko Pops and Transformers. Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm Jason. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Jason.
Yo, Jason!
Damn it. So I know I'm going to have to change that for the next episode. Great. Anyway, welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad we have this podcast now. We can talk some toys. It's what we do in the van as we travel all over the world playing our punk rock music. It's what we love. Let's get right into it. What have you guys been, what have you picked up this week? Let's get into our segment, Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander! In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again! But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra! Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right. Yeah, Corey, you're up first. Show us your goodies.
Well, the thing that I found this week is nothing. The most recent thing that I found was a cross-country version 2. And he is from 1993, and he is a repaint of Cross Country from 1986 or 7-ish. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Here comes the hate mail on that.
When the Havoc came out, he was the driver, and there was a second version of him, and he has a little bit of there's a little bit of scandal behind this one now. There wasn't so much in 1993 when nobody gave a shit. But there is now because of all of the, the more recent stuff going on with Confederate flags and all that kind of stuff. Because this particular figure has a Confederate flag on his back, so there's a lot of hate for this figure. But I display him forward, and he looks really cool, and you can't see the flag, so whatever. And it is genuinely a much better looking figure than the original. It's the same head sculpt and. That's pretty much it. The rest of it is completely different, and it just looks like this cool old dude cool old looking dude wearing. I'm going to pause here so Jason can edit. Blue jeans.
Great.
And I'm going to turn away from the microphone, and someone else is going to talk for a second so I can pick him up.
Yeah, we're talking as he picks things up. What great posture.
Yeah, he's pretty different from the original. That's about all I got to say.
After all that, you jerk.
Totally worth it.
He's cool.
Some other things that I brought with me. I brought one of the I brought one of the Black Major figures, and Black Major, if you don't know, is a guy / company / whatever who, the way I understand it, and I'll probably get some mail about this, is he got a hold of either purchased or somehow came into possession some of the original molds of some of the original figures, and so he started casting his own, but completely different repaints. So there are a lot of different sublines of G.I. Joe, like Tiger Force and Python Patrol, and so there were figures that weren't part of those lines, but then he recast the figures and did paints on them for those lines so that you could get a Tiger Force Snake Eyes if you wanted one, even though it never existed originally. So I brought one with me, and they are notorious for feeling cheap. The one that I brought with me, it's just a Cobra Trooper, and he actually has really tight joints on his upper half,
Yeah,
and then
he
his
does.
legs are super floppy, like Jason.
Yeah, they are.
Legs. Joints. No, it's like super, but he's cool. It's a total throwback to the original stuff, and a lot of that stuff is getting, like, they still look really cool and they display really well. So that's some of the stuff that I have
Where'd you say you got that?
gotten recently. I got that one on eBay, I think.
Yeah.
I think I got it for like $10 on eBay. And that stuff is actually going up in price quite a bit now because he keeps saying he's going to stop doing it, and then he keeps doing it. So,
Sounds right.
yeah, I got that one on eBay not too long ago,
Those
but
tight joints, man. Raise
yeah,
the price.
the knees are super floppy. The upper torso and the arms and everything are really tight, actually, which kind of surprised me. But he also came with some cool weapons. He's got like a cool little machine gun and a backpack and a dagger and a sidearm, a pistol, and proper kit for
Yeah.
this dude. The backpack is a cast of, like, it's the same one that they used for Duke and for Airborne and for Steel Brigade. It's obviously a different color, so it's not at all easily mistaken for an original. But
Spoody's play with the loose joints over there.
Spoody's flopping around with my. So I have a few of the Black Majors in my collection because why not? They're cool and they're the same size and they do the same thing, and you can beat them up a little bit and not really care because they're not 35-year-old plastic. So that's me.
Nice.
That's what I got this week.
All right, Elgin, what'd you bring for us?
I brought
What giant pile of toys did you bring this week?
this time I brought some cars. I guess Hot Wheels are making because they're owned by Mattel. They can also license off their Motu line, but kind of Jason kind of turned around to these.
Kind of my fault.
He's like, hey, these are at Dollar General, which was odd.
Yeah,
that they
why-
were there in the first place. This whole line, there's 5 vehicles there. But the packaging themselves looks great too, and each car is kind of has the own theme of each
Color
character,
coordinated and
it's so they have Tila and Man at Arms, and he even has this little mace as like a antenna or something.
Didn't even
It's
see
like-
that.
Yeah, and Skeletor and Beastman, He-Man. So they have all these kind of specific hot rodded Motu vehicles that are, and Beastman, his grill, like
Ridiculous.
his teeth for his grill are,
Wait, it should be.
yeah, it's kind of crazy looking. But they were just kind of,
I love that Man at Arms. Sorry.
as like a small or collecting type thing. They're inexpensive, and if you want something to hang on the wall or play with, they're
Yeah, those
pretty
backing
cheap to
cards got the great art on it, so it looks good.
So yeah, the artwork is great, and they just did a really good job of just kind of doing that line there. Surprisingly, it was just kind of out of the blue.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about it or anything. Yeah, his grill, like his teeth.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought the Man at Arms one was my favorite. I haven't
Beastman,
seen the
yeah.
Beastman one yet.
yeah.
That is cool.
So they're all, something I didn't think I would collect, but and now I'm collecting them, I guess.
Turns out I'm a Hot Wheels guy.
Yeah,
so.
apparently. They also had put out some actual vehicles a while back. I just recently got the Land Shark of this, but they also did a Wing Raider, I think last year. But now I just have kind of, and Land Shark's his mouth opens up and everything. But they're just very tiny versions of the actual vintage toys, and it's something that it's like I didn't think they would never make. And then I saw it.
Sweet.
It's one of those things you see it and you have to buy it immediately.
You just have to.
G.I. Joe needs to do that.
They did. They did a 3-pack of some of the miniatures.
I saw those little tiny, they're like micro machines almost.
Yeah, they're pretty much that size.
That's too small.
Yeah. But with these, it's like, I hope they do more of this, the vehicles, of like these tiny little vehicles like that. That'd be great. Like a Roton or
those look diecast too. Right?
Battle Ram or any of the major vehicles would be great for those.
It's funny that you mentioned Dollar General because I had completely forgotten until right now that like Dollar General had an exclusive G.I. Joe line as well years ago, like early 2000s. And I remember going into Dollar General and finding Storm Shadow and a Snake Eyes, like one of the later versions of them, and thinking, hey, those are cool. And this is like around the time when I was traveling back and forth between the States and Ireland. And I was like, oh, those are cool. So I bought them. I was like, I'm going to take these on the plane so I have something to play with for 8 hours. So I took these. I got them, and I took these 2 G.I. Joes with me to Ireland. And I was like, I just played with toys on the grown-ass man playing with action figures on the toy. I was getting a bunch of looks from people, but whatever. It was, So, and Dollar General of all places, it's crazy.
Jason sent that message. I think it was on Messenger or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
because we all send when we see stuff, we send stuff to each other.
So I went to our Dollar General. Of course, there's only one figure there.
Yep.
It was the only one there. So I bought that one, and then I sent Jason a message. I'm like, can you pick up the other ones? I'll get you back on it. And then I go a couple weeks later, they're all there.
Nice.
Of course. And so I'm like, did you buy those? Because I'm going to buy them right now if you didn't.
You should buy extra and open them and play with them.
I thought about that, but
If they're cheap.
Yeah, I don't. I think I'm just going to probably keep these in packaging. I used to have little like Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars when I was a kid, and race them. And they're all beat up and everything.
Yeah.
Just because we beat the crap out of those.
That's what you do with your cars.
Yeah. And my brother collected a bunch of those too, and had them kind of displayed. Like that was one of his things that he did, and it just kind of harkens back to that. But with the packaging as colorful and as throwback-ish as it is, I want to keep it all together and just as a display thing, as opposed to playing with it. I play with all the other toys, so it's like I did something to display maybe.
Yeah.
I like how the Man-at-Arms one looks like a garbage truck.
Yeah. Right, it's not a sexy vehicle, but no.
Yeah, that was a nice thing too. They didn't try to over like make them all hot rods. It's like no, he's
practical.
He's an old man. He's
Eternia needs its cleanup crew. Yeah.
Dollar General
I agree. That beast
is
man.
one of the few places you can get the Creo Transformers.
I was going to say, they have Transformers
the
too.
Lego knockoff.
Yeah, I saw those when I was there.
I've got 3. There's 4 different ones, and they're real little, and I got 3 of them, and then you go look on the back, and you're like, collect all 4. And now they're on clearance, and that 4th one's not there, and I'm never going to get it. I'm so
Which one is it?
Optimus, I think. So keep an eye out.
I saw
I might
Starscream
have
or
it.
something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they had one there. But yeah.
Yeah, go Dollar General, huh?
They've had a
Shocking.
few different runs.
And then there's 2 different sizes of Transformer toys, too. They're both very kid-like, but there's a medium-sized one and like a bigger...
I will check
line
because
too.
there's 2 Dollar Generals in Washington. So I will go there. I will send me a message tomorrow to remind me. I will go there and see if they have either of them have any of the Creo stuff. If they've got that Optimus,
which if you didn't know, there's one in Hedrick.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you
and there's one in Brighton on my way home too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a newer one, I think.
Yeah, it's like last year. Anyway,
when there's small runs like that, you're like, damn, I have to get them all, right? The completist in us, we're like, shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortunately, I'm not the completest.
Thank goodness.
I'm not like all the new retro line and the 6-inch line that's coming out for G.I. Joe is the only thing I'm collecting for the retro line is the vehicles. I have a couple figures. I have a Destro, and the only reason I have that is because I ordered the thing from Walmart.com, and it was either $10 for shipping or $11 or $13 for Destro. I was like, all right, well, I'll buy the Destro for $2 extra and get free shipping. And then you can't have Destro without Baroness, and they happen to have a Baroness at my Walmart,
But
so
then
I
you
have
can't
that.
have Baroness.
Oh, yeah, you
without
can.
Cobra.
Yeah, but those are my most recent purchases. Like literally, Jason gave them to me today as we came.
Yeah,
in.
those are
as we
cool.
came in. So
Those are
it's-
so cool.
Who knew?
Yeah,
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
$4 or $5. They're nothing,
yeah, really,
nothing
it's
crazy.
cheap for. I mean, that's the same price with those other the Landshark and Wing Raider were the same price.
Very
at,
cool.
at Walmart. So, I think I saw on Amazon they had all 5 of them, but like in a collector's box thing, which I need to take off my wish list.
Yeah,
Or
probably.
keep it on. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe someone will buy it for me. Either
And
way.
you can open those, or if
Yeah,
the
exactly.
box opens easily, you can open
Yeah,
the box and
exactly.
put them back.
All right.
Either
Well,
way.
Speedy, what'd you bring for us today? You got some fun looking stuff over there.
Some Christmas presents.
Ooh.
I have the it's a Bumblebees from the movie Bumblebees Special Edition, which is like the actual gold it's kind of the
Studio
gold-
series.
the gold bug. Yeah, the
Studio Series Generation. And it's got that cool ass like spray painted Bumblebee on the side.
Yeah.
That's
And it's actually a gold bug version of Bumblebee, and the package looks like a tape deck or like a cassette, and it opens up, and there's some really crappy cassette transformers that combine in it.
but
But
this
it's so cool.
Is it
But it's really cool.
The packaging.
We'll take those out and put in some other ones.
It's not often the packaging outperforms the toy, but
It is
The
such.
toy is really cool.
Yeah.
The toy is like 1/10 of the size of the packaging, though.
yeah.
So it's a lot of extra stuff going on. And then I got it's the Generation 2 Tiger handheld game.
State of the art.
It's it's a remake, but I'm probably not going to open it because it just looks terrible.
Yeah, it's got that
as
G2
far as the
logo.
game.
Yeah, that's cool.
The packaging is cooler. It's got a little tear on it, but that's whatever. But
Yeah, you don't think it's going to be good?
there's pictures on the back of.
Just the black and white,
I vaguely remember that from back in the day.
like a 4.5-bit game. It's nothing.
It's like a calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah. These things are hard, though. Like,
Yeah, they're really hard because they're not good.
yeah. They're
Yeah.
awesome. Like, yeah.
But it'll look.
yeah, the pictures.
You'll
on the
never
back,
get it back
yeah.
into the. It's got like a blister pack
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of thing on it, so you'll never get it back into the packaging.
I like sometimes when they use the toy art instead of the cartoon art.
Yes.
And that's really neat with that. And that's definitely vintage Gen 2 style font with the logo. That's really neat. I don't know how you could open that. I mean, you do what you got to do, but
I'm not
man,
going
that
to.
looks good. Tear
Hopefully
and
there's
all,
not-
even.
I don't
It's
think
too
there's
bad.
batteries in it or anything, so I think it's fine.
That's I had
Neat little collectible.
two different ones. I had a Gauntlet game
Yeah, I remember
version
that one.
of these like handheld games, and then I had Ninja Gaiden as well.
Yeah.
And they were hard.
Yeah.
Really
Yes.
hard.
Yeah.
Gauntlet was insane
Yeah.
because you just kind of walked, and then there was maybe a wall, but then it disappeared because it's just a line, and then you walk, and then maybe move, and then something would like appear right in front of you, and then probably kill you, and it was hard. That game was hard. I should probably see if I still have that somewhere.
Back to the box.
Probably at my parents' house
Yep.
in the closet somewhere. But yeah, speaking of packaging, that at Dollar Tree they had those. I think you picked them up.
Yep.
All those little Transformers. The figures were awful, but the packaging was great.
Yep,
Like,
it's
it looked
very
great.
vintage. Card back of the
Good.
vintage.
Yeah, because my
G1 toys.
son bought one and thought it was like a Transformer. It wasn't.
It's just
It like it didn't move at all. You know, and he was
figurine.
very disappointed, and he was getting ready to give it to you, to Jason, and because he's like, oh, I know he collects this, so maybe let's give it to him. I was like, no, it's your toy. He's like, but he should have it.
He's right, but
Yeah.
that's sweet. That's very
Have those?
sweet.
I haven't seen him.
I do. They're sitting on my desk. I like having a lot
I
of
mean, the store.
Dollar Tree. There's one in. Yeah, there's one down at the mall,
Yeah.
and that's where I went. And there's just $1, and there's six
Yeah,
of them.
Yeah,
Six.
so I'm
Yep.
check that out.
Really
I sent
neat.
you all the pictures. I don't know if they're still there now, but
Yeah, Can't beat it when it's $1 though.
Their inventory goes,
Yeah.
shuffles out all the time. But yeah, I think I sent you all the pictures when he was buying one.
Yep.
And
Crap! I have to go back to Dollar Tree, which I swore I'd never do. Oh, hate it there.
you have a feud with Dollar Tree.
I do. Is that it, Spooty? I thought I saw more, but is that?
Well, I had the
For your.
the Bumblebee pop that I talked about last time.
Oh yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, for mine, I'm going to do something a little weird, a little unplanned thing for my thrill of the hunt. Again, I stopped in at GameStop to see my buddy Insane Mike, and because I knew Pop had just released this brand new thing, and because some toy friends of mine had posted, they just got it last night, so I was like, oh my god, do they have more? What is it? What did you get? And so what it is it's a mystery box, and it's not just a box, it's a lunch box. So it's a mystery lunch box that's
Freaking cool.
combination Transformers and G.I. Joe. So one side of the lunchbox is Transformers, one side's G.I. Joe, and what's in the box are exclusive pop figures. There's 2 sets, and there's 2 G.I. Joe pops, and there's 2 Transformer pops, and there's a bunch of stickers and buttons and other cool things. But sadly, they split them up. So one has a G.I. Joe and a Transformer in it, and the other, they all have one of each in it. So I can't,
Right.
because G.I. Joe sucks, so I just want the Transformer one. And I can't just buy it because it's got a big mystery box. Very frustrating. And you should have seen me in the store. There's 3 of them there, and I was like the old lady with the milk and the candle. I was just like, which one feels
Do I buy
different?
all 3?
Don't, because
You should have just got all 3.
I know. No. Well, I got to take my chance with the 2. So I knew I had to get 2 to get the set because I need both the Optimus and the Megatron that both come with their Energon weapons. That's what makes them exclusive, and they're freaking cool. And I have all the other Transformer pops from this series, so I have to get it. I'm forced into it. I have no choice to walk away from these.
So
things.
you're absolutely getting 2 of the same ones.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So Elgin's running some video now. I got one of each, and I told Corey ahead of time, I'm like, if we get a set, I'm going to let you have the other one because it's G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe stuff, and Corey needs to start his pop collection, and this would be a great time.
Corey's going to
freaked
get
out,
2 different.
Though. When he
G.I.
handed
Joes.
me this, because I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know this even existed.
Just came
he
out,
handed
yep.
this to me, and I freaked out because this. We're talking a lot about packaging, not necessarily on purpose in this episode, but the packaging is cool. It's a cool lunchbox with cool graphics, and I mean, this is. I'm pretty sure that I had this TV
collector.
tray
Yep.
when I was a
Yep.
kid.
Uh-huh.
I have that.
Do you? Yeah,
I
it's
have
cool.
a couple of them.
And it's just yeah. So I'm excited to open this. Shall we?
Let's do it. So hopefully we get 2 different things inside here. I
Are we
fortunately...
going to do one at a time, or are we going to tear the Band-Aid off and do it at the same time?
You
I think
his
Corey
first?
should open his first.
All right, here I go. I got
You got a
in my
plastic
box.
strap around it too.
I got a plastic strap that I have to
Terrible audio, but
tear
man, this is
off.
fun.
Just hold on a second. All right, there we go.
In-
And 3, 2, 1, go. I have Duke and Megatron, and there's a keychain.
Yep, keychain.
Oh, that's cool. And buttons. That is so Brad. And a cool sticker, and man, these are cool. I'm not a pop collector.
That's
I'm
what
not a pop collector.
we all start saying.
And the G.I. Joe ones are cool. These the head sculpt on this Megatron is cool.
Yeah.
And I can't get it out of the box. So I still can't get it out of the box. I can't get it out of okay. Yeah, the head sculpt on this Megatron is really cool. I'll go ahead and show it up here for the video. Yeah, that's cool. All right, Jason.
Oh, man. It's going to... So hopefully in my box is Cobra Commander and Optimus Prime. When it's not... At least I have some other friends that said
Cobra Commander
they'd swap
and
with
Megatron.
me. But we did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yes.
All right. Oh, yep. They stuck in the box. Mother.
Yeah, it's that corner. It's that rolled corner.
So we'll do this G.I. Joe one first. We got
that's
Cobra
cool.
Commander. Oh, he looks cool. I'll just hand that to Corey because that's his now.
Look at you. You are cute. He looks like an old 50s TV.
And I got this Optimus Prime. You can see his little Energon battle axe deep down in there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's in there, and it's a cool little exclusive version. Oh, my goodness, cool. I'm so happy right now. Did you get an Autobot or a Decepticon keychain? Look at that.
Cobra one.
Cobra.
That's cool.
What'd you get?
I got the Autobot.
I think I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then I got a Decepticon sticker.
Nice. I got a G.I. Joe sticker.
Perfect. And then there's little pin buttons of each. So I'll give you these two G.I. Joe ones, and I'll get the other. But anyway, yeah. So
these are cool.
Got
these very
cool little lunch boxes, and it actually worked out. Oh my God, I was nervous about it all day. But yeah, so my goodness, that was fun. Thanks, Elgin, for the video, and thanks for watching Cracktastic Plastic. Okay, folks, let's get into the main topic of today's episode: Holy Grail toys. Now, we all collect toys. That's why you're listening. You love toys, and we all have that one that got away. We all have that one that we've been searching for years. We all have that one that your best friend growing up or your enemy had growing up, and they never let you play with it, and you always wanted it. But there seems to be, and by one, I mean it can be many, because after we start collecting, we find lots of things we want, obviously. But this episode, we want to talk a little bit about a very common thread in toy collecting, that Holy Grail toy. Very exciting.
Yes.
And Corey, well, now you're all hopped up on G.I. Joe stuff over there.
Yes, I am. I'm still super excited about this. I mean, you'll see it in the video if/when you watch it, Mom. But it's a lunchbox, and it's cool. So, Holy Grail for me. Okay. In the G.I. Joe world, it is the top of the list for a lot of people, and it has its own exclusive club called the Admirals Club. And I am talking about the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier, the USS Flag. And this thing is almost 7 feet long and a couple of feet wide, and it's just this big, bulky monstrosity playset that is really cool to some people. To me, it's kind of a big waste of space, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate over this, but it really is, because it's not to scale at all. And I totally understand that you couldn't make one to scale because it'd be too big. There is a guy who built one to scale in his basement, and the thing is a thing of beauty. It's got deck lights on it, like LED deck lights, several. Nice. I mean, this thing is amazing, and it is 35 feet long.
Jesus.
He set up figures on it. He can get over 2,000 figures on the deck of it, I think, something like that. It'll hold like 30 Sky Strikers and 20 Tomahawk. I mean, the thing is massive. And that is what I hated when I was a kid about the flag. I had two friends growing up that had flags. Jamie Keller, who lived down the street from me, and Mark Frymoyer, who lived down the street from my grandma. And they both had flags when they were kids. And so I got to play with the flag. And I remember when I was playing with this thing, like, landing the Sky Striker on it and taking off with the Dragonfly helicopter and stuff, thinking, man, this is really disappointing. This should be bigger. And so for me, the Holy Grail foremost was not for me. I never wanted one. Even when I was a kid, I never wanted one. I never went over to Jamie or Mark's house and thought, man, I really wish I had this. I thought, I'm glad that they've got one. I'm glad it's taken up space in their room. This thing is massive and kind of pointless. And so for me, I do want a flag, but eventually I would like to build one that is, much larger, that is actually a little more to scale.
Do you think that maybe the reason you didn't have that desire is because you had one you could look at? I mean, like, I think a lot of our things is why it's a Holy Grail toy for us is because we've never seen one in person. You got to see two. You think maybe that took a little bit of it, that desire?
I think it probably did, because like it totally took the magic out of it for me.
Sure.
Because like seeing it on the shelf in the store initially when I was a kid, I'm like, wow, it's the flag. And then seeing one in person when I was a kid, I suppose it probably you're probably right. That probably does have a lot to do with it. Like it just seeing it when I was a child and just being completely and totally disappointed with it. like Elgin was talking earlier about his son being completely and totally disappointed with a toy that he got at Dollar Tree that he thought was going to be a Transformer, and it's just a paperweight.
Basically.
But so eventually I would like to build one in my basement or something, not a 30-foot long one, but something that's like maybe a couple of pieces of plywood that I cut to shape and build some stuff and build a tower. And I'm fairly good with wood and that sort of thing. So,
Wink.
Ladies. Or no, wait, dudes. No, wait.
Anyway.
So, the thing I brought with me, are we doing that part yet? No, we're not
We're just talking about.
doing that part. The thrill of the hunt, is that what we're doing? Because I brought the Grail that I have.
Yeah, no, that's what we want.
Okay.
Yeah,
I brought the Grail that I have. When I was a kid.
It was 5 minutes ago, and that lunchbox thing is really fucked up right now.
It's still in my head. I've got it sitting on the floor in front of me,
It's a
so that
high,
I'm just
toy
looking
high.
at this cool.
Yeah, you already showed us your
Lunchbox.
racist G.I. Joes, so now
I did.
let's see your actual Holy Grail.
My actual Holy Grail that I brought with me is the Night Raven. The Night Raven is a
God.
Cobra jet that was loosely modeled after the SR-71 Blackbird, and it is just it's menacing looking. It is like the G.I. Joe jets. They look like army jets. They are modeled after the F-14 Tomcat and whatever that forward swept wing was plane from the 80s that was completely worthless to the military. But this Night Raven, it's black and it's gray and it's got a bit of orange in it and the windows are red and it's just got this really menacing, terrifying, like if this was coming at me and I was a pilot in the sky, I would be like, oh shit, I'm dead.
And Darth Vader's.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's a good 2 feet long. And it's got retractable landing gear, and when you retract when you put the landing gear down, it's got these air brakes in the back that pop up. I mean, they thought of everything when they were designing this toy. And it's got a drone on the back that comes off, so like a little guy can fly the little drone. And it's just this cool, really cool toy that I always wanted when I was a kid. It's not necessarily a Holy Grail for people because it's still pretty common. You can pick one up. If you hunt around, you can get lucky. I bought this one at a local toy store to us called A to Z Toys that we'll talk about in another episode for $80, which when I bought it, $80 was a really good deal. When I bought it, they were normally going for around $120. And now they're up to like $160, $200, $220 for a really nice one. So I got super lucky picking this thing up for $80. And, when I found it, I was just like, ooh, where's my credit card? Because I have to have this now because it was one that I never had as a kid, but I always wanted. And the two friends that I mentioned earlier, Mark and Jamie, that I don't remember if Mark did, but Jamie had one. He had everything. And I played with his, and this was one that I was just like, this is cool. So, yeah, this was one of my Grail toys. There's probably others that I really, really want, but the Night Raven was the one that was just like, that is the coolest. It's definitely the coolest of all, to me, all of the G.I. Joe.
It's mean looking. Yeah.
Flying line.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Tomcat, the Sky Striker is also cool. It has retractable landing gear, but it also, like, the wings sweep out when you retract the landing gear or when you put the landing gear down. And I like the Sky Striker. It was my first vehicle. I loved it when I was a kid. I was always kind of bummed that the wings and the landing gear didn't move independently. Apparently that's a mod you can do that's really easy.
All right.
And I probably won't ever do it to my vintage one, but I have a 25th anniversary one that Jason got for me for Christmas one year.
Oh, what a swell guy.
I know. And I might try it on that one. Actually, my son has a junker one that we found at A to Z Toys, and the guy was like, I don't know, give me $10 for it. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll give it to my son, and he can play with it. And so I might try it on that one. But yeah, this was that is my Grail, the Cobra Night Raven. Check it out. We will have a video of this posted to our Instagram and our Twitters.
Guys, he said it right.
And
That's
our, I know, I should, Facebook.
That's really-
Instagrams, Tweeters, and Facebooks.
That's really good. That's such a cool toy. I'm so happy for you that you have it.
I showed it to my brother Chris, my oldest brother Chris, who was into the 12-inch GI Joes, and he was too old when this stuff came out. He was a teenager, but I showed it to him, and he's like, "That is a freaking cool toy." Like he got excited about my dumb action figures.
He also like flies planes and stuff.
Yeah, he does. So he's really into the airplanes too. Yeah, he was totally like enthralled with this one. It's so cool.
Is that Corey? Is that all complete then?
Yes. This one is complete. He came with a pilot called the Stratoviper, which I brought with me, and I think he's laying down in the drone.
Yeah, you put him in there earlier.
Yeah, pass the drone around too. He's a cool looking. He's a pretty cool looking, like slightly menacing looking figure too. Mm-hmm. And yes, that one is all complete. When I initially bought it, it was missing its tail cone, and it was either missing the landing gear or I lost it in transit. I got the tail cone on eBay for like $10, and then the landing gear, my friend Jeremy Sample, who is another collector who collects everything, like all the stuff that we have, he collects and more. He had an extra one, and he gave it to me, and it was bent, and so I ran some hot water over it and straightened it out, and then I thought, well, how do I get rid of these marks? And so I dropped it in some boiling water, and the stress marks went away. So hey, maybe we can have a new segment, our little tips and tricks segment, but that's my tip and trick for this episode is, if your plastic has stress marks on it, drop it in some boiling water for about 30 seconds and they go away.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
It's a lot heavier than I imagined too. Picking it up, like I didn't think it'd be like kind of have that weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
cool. It's
very,
really cool.
very sturdy. Not so much anymore. The plastic's getting old, but it's a very, you can feel the sturdiness of the toy.
Quality of it.
Yeah, the quality.
All right, Elgin, what is your Holy Grail toy? What takes you back? What have you been searching for?
Can I guess?
Sure, you can guess.
Is it the?
You're looking.
Is it the
Cheating.
Eternia playset?
It is.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
guess.
nice.
Yeah, or also it's also called the Towers of Eternia.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't know if I remember seeing it.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
it's
Sorry.
it's it was a very limited from research that I've done to look at it and stuff. It's basically there's 3 towers. So it was the largest playset, so larger than Castle Grayskull, larger than Snake Mountain. It was 3 towers that would represent, good, evil, and then kind of like an in between. And it was near the end of the line. It was late '87, kind of end of line stuff. Because it was the biggest, it was also the most expensive at the time. So it didn't sell a lot because kids weren't gonna, or parents weren't gonna pony up, however much it was in $1987. So basically, since it was, free sold, it had lots of parts on it. It had a monorail that was motorized with a battery pack that could run through the towers.
Whoa.
It had lots and lots of parts. It had lots of vehicles in it as well, and a lot of parts got broken. A lot of parts got lost.
I could see a lot of things.
Jeez, yeah, wow.
It was so flimsily made that like things would get broken. So to have something that's 100% complete, to have it,
Function.
actually work, and it was just almost impossible.
Yeah.
And I've never seen one. Like
I
in
can't
person, I've
imagine.
never seen one.
I've never even
No,
heard of it.
I hadn't seen it till
I
Scooty
knew it
pulled
was
up
a
the picture.
thing, and I feel so bad. It wasn't complete, but I feel really bad because one popped up for sale on Facebook Marketplace like 2 years ago,
Right.
and I saw it and I was like, oh, I should tell Elgin about that. Oh, I should just go get it. And then I forgot about it, and then like 2 days later, I called, I messaged, and like, oh no, it's gone. And it wasn't complete, and
Right.
but it was like $50 for
Probably a shell or what?
a shell,
Maybe
and
probably
then
the
some
3
other-
towers
yeah,
and stuff.
But still, $50 for that, like you can't buy it. You can't buy just a shell for $50
Right.
of that playset.
right.
And yeah, I felt so bad because
That's
like I was like, oh man, he would have really loved that, and then I didn't go.
So
get it.
the closest I've actually seen, the closest I've actually seen to this playset is when there's a collection of, it's like this tome of all of the mini comics. They basically collected them into one volume, and it's about 5 inches tall. This book, it has every mini comic that was ever produced, and they basically made it full pages, and so it's really well done. And they talk about that in that book. Like in one of the mini comics, it has the Towers of Eternia in it, and it talks about this is what this is happening, and it starts with pre-Eternia, and because that's where they were going in '87, is they were going to this pre-Eternia line of like Hero and other figures that were way different than what they were doing before. So it's something that I said, I've never seen. I would love to have it, but I think it's going to be so expensive.
Do mint in-box versions exist in the world?
I've never, like I said, I don't know. I've never seen one.
Or well, I just wonder what
I
they
probably
go
never
for.
really looked for one, but
Yeah, I wonder
This
what
is with a box,
the eBay.
open,
3,800.
3,600.
Yeah, that's something I could never afford. Like that's not.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
What's
the closest that I would find for myself for a Holy Grail would probably be like Scareglow Skeletor. Like that's kind of in my price range.
Yeah.
And even those are expensive.
Yeah.
King Randor, any of the line that's from like '87, that the last wave,
Last ditch effort.
Yeah, the last wave of figures. Those are a lot of those. I don't even have any of those. Like I had to list them out because there were so many. The Powers of Grayskull stuff with Tyrannosaurus Rex, Turbodactyl, Bionatops, all the dinosaurs, which I've actually seen one when we went to one of the stores, but it was in box and horribly expensive. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's that figure. I've seen it now.
Now, would you put on your list of Grail the Battle Cat Children's Rocking Horse?
That we saw at that toy store?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
It was very cool. I don't know if I would love to own it. Obviously, it would be cool.
That would be a really
to have.
cool piece to just like.
I guess I don't
here.
think of that as like a Holy Grail.
No,
I think
no,
of Holy Grail as like figures or
release
vehicles
product
or something that to that vintage line that I would want to purchase. That obviously that'd be something cool to have too, but it wouldn't be specific to that vintage.
And
line.
definitely not the $300 he was asking for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
To go back, Corey, what do you think of Flag's mint in box? They exist. I've seen a few
they do.
in box.
They
What do they
go for? Anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000
Good
now.
Lord.
Yeah, a complete flag with no box, just like a complete flag, is if you want to buy one, you're lucky. Like a really good deal for one would be like $1,200.
Wow.
But like there are parts like the fantail and stuff like that are like $100 just for this one piece of plastic. So people are 3D printing that stuff and like the deck
Have
clips
to.
And with that, like even if you get one that's in a box, the box is going to be pretty rough. Just
most of the
because
time.
it's so
I've
big.
seen a couple of them here and there that have come across sale sites and come across estate sales that are sealed mint in box, that the boxes are in really nice shape for being
Transported by
30-year-old
truck
refrigerator
its whole
box.
life.
Yeah, and then it was put in an attic and left there and never
Right.
opened, and whatever happened, for some reason the kid got in trouble and didn't get his Christmas present or whatever.
Yeah.
It happens. There was one for sale for a couple of grand at one of the toys at Kokomo Toys,
Yep.
which we'll
Right.
talk about in a later episode also.
Yeah. I probably maybe the closest reachable Grail for me would probably be getting like a complete Castle Grayskull with box would be nice. But those routinely go for $300 to $400
Easily, yeah.
if they're 100% complete. I mean, maybe a snake mount or something that's complete with box. That's
Those bigger play sets, man.
yeah.
That's where it's
Those are
at.
always the hard thing. And I have a shell of a Castle Grayskull that I got for free basically.
Sure.
At one of the venues
Shows
we played at, and that kind of, it's like, yeah, maybe I'll try to get the pieces to it. Really, I would like just to have in box, even if with in decent shape, complete.
By the time you buy all the pieces,
Yeah,
you're spending
exactly.
as much.
That's why I haven't done
can
it
be,
yet
yeah.
either. But that'd probably be the closest obtainable Holy Grail for me, just with my budget of what I'm trying to do for toys
Yep.
and stuff. So
Yeah, sometimes on tour you play for money. Sometimes you play for some food.
yeah,
And sometimes you play for toys that are stuck in the back. That I'll take that.
yeah, it had a
That's
door.
pretty-
So
I
that
can't
was-
believe you
Had
got
two
that.
of them.
Yeah,
So cool. All right, Spooty, Holy Grails. What are you hunting for?
You said you have a Black Knight from the Holy Grail, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. There's that.
Jesus, I knew that was going to
Check.
happen.
check that one off.
I mean, I have what's usually like one of the Holy Grails is a complete Optimus Prime
Yep.
with the
G1.
trailer. Yeah, G1 Prime. I have a couple of them. It's because I've gotten super lucky.
Yeah, you punk.
That is something that that was my brother Kurt's favorite toy when he was a kid. So I got one for him on eBay. It's been several years ago when it wasn't stupid expensive. I got him not complete. It's missing one fist, but Optimus Prime with trailer and all the trimmings, but missing one fist for. I think I got it for like $60 shipped
Which is
on
pretty,
eBay.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're well over $100.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is still kind of cheap.
Still not bad.
Only
Not
because
bad.
they put out a lot of them.
a lot of versions and
But finding one that where the smokestacks aren't broken
Yeah.
and has the fists and the gun
roller and
and then the roller and the other pieces.
Yeah, I'll be
and
honest,
the
I-
little
missiles.
and the trailer door that's not broken.
Yeah.
I never really, not that I don't care about Optimus. I never was like, I'm collecting Optimuses.
I mean, he's
Oh, right.
easily the
Man.
most produced
sure.
character.
I was always more of a Starscream guy, but I'll tell you, in the last week or so, I find myself looking on those sites that we look at. I'm like, because I don't have a real maybe I do have. No, I don't have a real Gen 1 Optimus. I'm like, maybe I do need that just to get one, you know?
Maybe I'll
I would have
find
thought
one.
you would have had one.
I know. I have a lot of different versions of the
Okay.
Power Masters and all those.
And it's the same toy, the same mold and stuff, but it's not the actual
Well,
And-
original.
there's so many different versions of
Yep.
Optimus Prime too, and there's a lot of them that are really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have it's a Japanese masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, I touched
that has
that one more.
has a clear trailer
Yeah.
with it.
There's
I
a
got one of
Pepsi
those
version.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
Really?
Like a Pepsi
Yeah, my friend
The
trailer.
most
Russell
expensive
has the Pepsi
Transformer
one
was the
still in
Pepsi
box.
Optimus Prime that was signed by like the voice cast,
Oh, nice.
That'd be cool.
which some of them aren't even alive anymore.
Yeah.
So, just like I think it went for like $15,000 or something. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Is there one you don't have you're looking for? That would just be the one?
I mean, like Fortress Maximus is
That's
up
kind
there,
of the one.
but I got one of those two at a garage sale. And
The-
like 90% complete.
The
entirely
largest
too cheap.
Transformer ever made, Fortress Maximus. It's incredible.
Is that the one? I don't remember which one that.
Wait, no, I got Metroplex.
That's-
Oh, okay. I was
90%.
thinking,
Right,
yeah,
right.
Metroplex is the one.
the
Fortress
white-
Maximus is up there.
Yep.
With,
I got him.
yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
The Masterpiece Grimlock
Yeah, he's so...
would like to have. Now
You-
he's like $300 or something.
I feel like you have a little Grimlock soft spot. Grimlock
yeah. The
soft
original,
spot.
like I said, I don't have an original Grimlock.
Yeah. All the Dinobots they got hard to get.
Yeah.
I mean, they got pricey.
The
that chrome on there.
the plastics they're made out of particularly were pretty
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So they broke really easy. Yeah, like probably the either of those Grimlocks is probably my big one. Omega Supreme,
Yep.
even though he's kind of lame,
Kind of lame, but he's on my list too.
and he's also hard to find because he's got parts.
yeah.
that
A lot of
come
parts.
apart.
He's dumb looking, but he's got a lot of parts, and he's
Yeah.
big. And he's cool, and he's kind of a play set, really. So
Yeah. Original Predaking.
yeah,
I know you have a knockoff.
yeah, he's so
version of
cool.
it, but it's still, I'm okay with those.
Me too. I don't care. It doesn't have.
I mean, I got the Devastator.
Yep.
It's- I think it's all complete. But yeah, some of those combiners get hard to find. But
So how big, transformed standing up? How tall is Fortress Maximus?
I think it's over 2 feet.
Is
Yeah.
it okay?
I don't remember exactly.
technically, I have a Cheetor that's taller than that, but it's kind of cheating.
It's part of his name
He's
too.
lanky.
So yep.
I had a bunch of I had a bunch of Transformers when I was a kid too, and I loved them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I had some of like the more expensive, like harder to find, like cool ones. But it's
Let's just say Fortress Maximus is so big, and you saw in our last episode those headmasters where the head turns into a little robot.
Yep.
Fortress Maximus is so big that his head is a headmaster, and his headmaster's head is a headmaster.
nice.
It's so fucking cool. Oh man, it's awesome. Huge. He's sponsored. He's cool.
Nice.
Is that it? Is that good? Is that it?
Yeah.
You good? Any others? All right. There's so many. Gosh.
I mean, any like
All of
original
them
G1s,
are. Yep. Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah. Even there, so
especially if they're complete.
on the near the end of the Motu line too, they were like, well, Transformers are doing so great, we should do Transformers too. So they put out a line of those, which I've never seen or but I obviously want to. They're the I gotta look at what I call it. They're like the meteor orbs, I think is what they were called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
they
a
have,
rock that turns into rock.
yeah, they're like
guys.
Yeah.
well, no, those are different. Those
Oh,
are
okay.
So
But like
those
those
are
guys.
yeah. So the ones you're talking about are Rock-On and Stondar.
Oh, okay.
And then they actually didn't make the third one because there's actually a girl, Granita, but they never made her, but they did make her in the Classics line. But the ones I'm talking about are the Meteorbs, the Heroic and Evil, and then there's like Cometroid, Tygar, Astroline. And they're all like rocks, but then they form into animals.
Yeah.
You know, and there's, you know, Crocobite and Orebear and Gorilla.
The best names ever.
I do have,
Rhinorb.
I do have a transforming Ninja Turtle.
Ooh. I have
Nice.
transforming
Turns into
Star
a fire
Wars
truck.
stuff. Some cool
I have
crossovers.
I saw
have
one of
enjoyed
those recently, the Millennium Falcon, I think.
I have enjoyed some of the crossovers that they've been coming out with, like the Ectotron and
Yeah.
the whatever the
Gigawatt.
That one. Yeah,
Yep.
those are cool. Those are
I
very
spent
cool.
hours last night looking at both of those.
Did you?
Yeah.
And then there's the Walmart packaging and there's the Target packaging.
Yeah.
It's the same toy, but the packaging's different.
Yeah.
It sure is. And the prices are different too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very cool.
With those Funko Pops, they do, you know, Target runs and Walmart
Oh,
runs. And,
there's so many
That
stores
that
that.
kind of annoys me.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah,
They're
but
so
it's like-
cute. I know. There's
That's a topic for a different episode.
15-20
Yeah.
stores. Yeah. Okay.
That
So.
and repaints is basically
Yeah.
the same
Oh yeah,
thing.
we should. That should be a topic too. All right. So I wrote down a few for my Holy Grail. So since I just collect the horror Funko Pops, there's a. They did early on. They did the kind of the Universal monsters, and those are all really hard to find. They're easily $100 a piece, but they made a flocked version of the Wolfman,
Nice.
and he's number 114, and he goes for $770.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
You know, you could just get a regular one and flock it yourself.
You flock off. But I don't really care about that. The flock. I would just love to have the Universal monsters. But the other one that I do really want, because Funko's really nice. I know there's problems, there's issues, but Funko has an app that's really cool that you can log.
you showed me that.
You can log your collection
yeah.
and then create a wish list also. And so when this topic came up, I just went into my wish list because I went through the million there is now and picked the ones I know I want.
Right.
And you can search by price, and it's cool because it keeps a running what it cost today, going for
That's nice.
price, kind of a
That's cool.
going for price. Very cool. So you know what it's worth any given day, and it changes all the time. It's really neat. And so today, yeah. So the one, and then when I searched, the most expensive one besides that, they made a Jason Voorhees without a mask,
Oh,
and it's really
gross.
it's gross. But he's number 202. He's going for $420.
Wow.
And so he's on my list. I've never seen one in person, but there's
$10 toy.
I know I got a handful of ones that are going for around $100 that I do look at a lot that I need to have. There's an Elvira. There's several Elviras.
Yeah.
There's a Ghostface from Scream, Captain Spaulding, all the Universal monsters.
Right.
Sam from Trick or Treat, the first version of him. There's a version of Freddy Krueger with the syringe hands from
Nice.
Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those kind of all go for around $100. you know, I saw that syringed hand one at a toy show a year ago, and it was going for $50. And anyone who was with me at that toy store knows that the entire 3 days, all I talked about was, do I get that fucking pop? Do I spend that $50? And now I'm like, well, now it's $100, you idiot. You should have got it.
Bite the bullet.
And then so to kick myself to this day, and we all have those moments too.
Yeah.
I wrote down, I got a little top list of just the overall most expensive pops that are going right now today. I will blast through them. Let's do the top 3. The third most expensive pop right now is the Headless Ned Stark from Game of Thrones. $4,690.
And it's only half the plastic.
And that's the cheap one?
No, the head comes too.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just like right above his head, and it's cut. You know,
okay.
it's set. It's really neat.
And that's the least expensive of the most expensive.
There's a Dumbo with clown paint, $6,350.
That's messed up.
And then there's a
Disney, man.
this one probably makes sense just because of what it is. But there's a holographic Darth Maul, and it's kind of holographic. He's kind of like a blue, sparkly thing, and
So
he's
it's like a crossover between Star Wars and Twilight.
basically $6,660. And a lot of these are limited to maybe like 40 pieces ever.
Oh.
Ever, and most of them are given out at toy shows and conventions
Right.
Yeah,
for those
convention
packages,
exclusives and-
those people who pay for the $1 million packages.
Yeah.
And so those were the top ones of that. And then I just wrote down a few for my Transformers. Yes, I got lucky, and I got a new Fort Max, and he's a monster, and he's cool. And I got that knockoff Predaking when we were in Oklahoma City at that toy store, and
Yeah.
it's plastic, but it's the same. And it is to me when I look at it. I
Yeah.
can pretend it's the original. But for me, the ones I'm looking for the most right now, like you said, Omega Supreme, he's a dorky giant Transformer. That's why you want him, those big Titans, you know. And
Yeah.
but Corey gave me one of mine, but a Megatron, an original Megatron. He's hard to get because he was a gun, and they don't sell guns to kids anymore. And
Right.
is cool, and I'm glad for that, but it makes a complete original Megatron very valuable. And
Yeah.
And he had parts that came off.
a lot of parts. And
Yeah, and there was we found one in box at a toy store that you didn't buy.
it wasn't complete enough.
It was $50 for the.
I'm also kicking myself about that. Damn you,
A friend of
Flyboy.
ours did
James
get it,
had a
but
complete one out of box. It was like $150.
Yeah, I should have bought
Yeah.
it. Damn you, Flyboy, for getting that.
yeah,
But the one, I know you've maybe even heard me talk about it recently, but the one I've been looking for the most lately is Jetfire.
yeah,
You know, that big white jet with the
original.
red. Yep, it was belonged to another toy line first, and it's not actually from Transformers, but it got
There's,
included into Transformers.
There's a crossover that was I think it was either San Diego or one of the California Comic-Cons that was an exclusive G.I. Joe Jetfire crossover Sky Striker.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's like got
So
the big
cool.
thing on its back and stuff, and it's it's
big
That's
red
what,
turret things.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Shockwave was from another toy line.
Yep.
That-
they
so it's not
Diaclone,
made from,
right?
It's
I'm gonna get hate mail.
Toyco was the
Yep.
name of the company. But, so it's not a Takara
Yep.
toy.
So those are our Holy Grail toys. We'd love to hear all about yours and what you're looking for. Definitely let us know in our Facebook group. We'd love to see pictures and what you're looking for. That would be awesome. Let's take a quick little break right now, and we'll hear from our podcast network, the PFPN. Lots of really cool podcasts for you to listen to. We're happy to be part of that family, and we're going to listen to a little promo of them right now.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we're back. That's right. Do what she says. ThePFPN.com. Thank you for letting us be on your network. All right, let's get into our next segment with Elgin Store Tour.
Yeah, today's store tour is actually one from our hometown here in Ottumwa. It's called Corner Collectibles Flea Market on 102 West Main Street. It used to be the old Wapello tire spot.
Goodyear place.
Yeah, and right on the corner there, hence the name Corner Collectibles. I guess.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. They used to be open more like through the week,
Yeah,
but now it looks like
COVID.
they're only open Friday and Saturday now.
And that's okay
that's
because
fine,
it's in our town.
Yeah,
And
and they do have some stuff. I brought some stuff that I actually bought there.
What? Oh, yeah, they did have.
And they've reorganized it now, moved some stuff around, and kind of put like things together, which is nice. And before all this stuff hit, I went there one time and I saw they actually had a Castle Grayskull that had a lot of stuff in it, and the chair was broken, but later I found out I could probably have fixed that because it would have made the trapdoor go down, but like the peg was broken off, and I was like, oh, I don't know, it's like $60, and I was like, well, I'll come back later, and then it was gone.
It's gone.
Of
Dang
course.
Yep.
And they had a Snake Mountain there, but it was missing a bunch of stuff. The Grayskull actually had more stuff in it, and I think they even had like She-Ra's Palace of whatever.
Doom.
Whatever that's called.
Yeah, Doom, I guess.
She was Palace of Doom.
Whatever that's called. And with some figures in it, and they had that there too, and that was gone. But the things I were able to find there, I did find a Trapjaw.
Whoa, that's awesome.
With his belt, missing all his weapons. That's what would be sticking in his right arm. He would have a hook and a machine gun and like a claw. But he was there, and it was a loose figure. It was pretty cheap. It was probably like $8 or something.
He's
so
a
it was
classic
pretty-
figure.
Yeah, the vintage figure. So, I mean, I could probably find the weapons or find 3D printed ones because I don't really care. I just want it to be complete, really. And the weapons are easy to make, to print off, and I don't know if I want to pass those around. I also found a Beastman. He was missing his armbands and his whip, but he was also
But
there.
he's so orange.
Yeah, he's very orange. They do have an alternate with like a yellow vest that you can buy. I think it was in like the weapons pack that you could change that out with.
Was he ever flocked?
No.
Okay.
Mossman was though.
I remember.
Which I've seen people customize Mossman by like taking off all of his flocking, and so he looks green but like this.
Huh.
And then they
Opposite.
put that yellow on, and that's pretty cool actually. And I do have a Mossman at home somewhere.
I love that Trapjaw, like, I love that his jaw moves, and I also love that his helmet is like very, like, World War II looking,
Yeah.
with the point in the middle. And stuff.
Yeah, their heads are squishy. You're right.
Trying to reach. There's
But not trap.
the Origin came out with on their first line. They also came out with a Beastman.
The thing I liked about the original Beastman is that the head, like, it looks like something chewed on it, even though like that's just the way that it was molded.
yeah, the
it just
painting,
looks like something chewed on the head for a while.
And Mossman is basically a flocked repaint
Yeah.
of Beastman. That's the Origin line I'm passing around that they did. So, like I said, it's missing the armbands on my original one, and that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.
I could,
Pretty similar.
just buy
Right.
one of those and put the
Put
armbands on
I'm
it.
surprised you haven't a couple.
But yeah, I haven't.
I like the head on the original better, but
Yeah.
I do really like I like that these are very much like the originals, and I like the articulation.
Yeah.
I like that. That was one of the things that I didn't like about He-Man growing up was that
Yeah,
there wasn't
he
really
couldn't
much
really do much.
articulation, and so I just didn't. I was so used to G.I. Joes, and that's why I never got into Star Wars either, because
Right.
there's like
They're
stick figures.
And with these, you can actually customize these so much because everything pops off
Yeah,
and everything has like a little nub on it that you can
Yeah.
just pull
His
off
head
and
is
stuff.
terrible.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint with the Origin line is the head sculpts.
right.
And that's why I don't have a Man-at-Arms because I cannot get
His
over
head's
the
terrible.
head sculpt. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. People who like Origin line, I guess. I don't know who I'm apologizing to. But. I also found a Faker there just recently.
Faker was so cool.
And it was complete. It has the swords at home. The only thing it's really missing is he had a little sticker on his chest that looked like machine or something, like a robot they would have.
Which
'Cause
you
he was
can
a ro-
probably
'cause he
get
was
a
a robot.
reproduction of.
It's just a sticker, so
Yeah.
most likely.
There's websites for that, like toyhacks.com and stuff that do reproduction stickers.
Right. I also found a Prince Adam. He didn't have his robe or his sword. His basically is the loose figure. He's wearing the armor vest for the Sky Sled that I bought later. The Sky Sled came with this armor,
Neat.
and then I brought two.
I wonder if you put this in I took a picture of this and put it in a photo app and then like did the reverse color thing, whatever. If it
How
would,
close would it be?
how close would it be to like what He-Man looks like?
Right.
You wouldn't be able to tell,
Yeah, exactly.
but
Oh.
So this
Elgin is a little bit colorblind, and so I always make fun of him, and I know that he hates me for it.
That's all right. This is the Sky Sled that I bought at a different toy store, but I didn't have a loose figure to put this armor on because it does, you can stick it on to him like that,
yeah.
so he could carry it around and then he could fly or something.
That's awesome.
But since and it comes off pretty easily, but since I had Prince Adam, I was like, I'll just put that on him, and then then he can just fly around with that.
Nice.
I guess. I also did find they in the 2000X version, they also put out some toys for McDonald's and Happy Meals. So they had this Man-at-Arms Happy Meal toy there. He's missing a shield that shoots off. But I have a Skeletor and a He-Man. I think Corey got me a He-Man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But I ended up having
Surprisingly good for McDonald's.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
Transformer
it's-
McDonald's toys aren't nearly as cool
yeah.
as
And
that.
this was, like I said, 2000s. So
Yeah, lucky.
that's one of them. And then the
Been
last,
waiting for you to
Yeah,
do the
the-
Skeletor here.
the last thing I found there was this clip. It was like a potato bag
Chip clip.
chip clip
Oh,
that they had,
man.
which is super rare. That I found out later. I saw it just hanging in a plastic bag
Gimme.
on there, and like it's literally from 86,
Wow.
87. I can't see what it is.
And more
80.
advertising flair.
Skeletor chip clip.
Okay, maybe there's no date on it, but yeah, it's got to be mid 80s
That's
sometime.
awesome.
But they had. I saw later too that they made like zipper clips too that you could put on your zipper to for your
nice.
coat to bring, and they made a Skeletor of that.
That's awesome.
Ring in his
But
hands.
that's probably the rarest thing I found at this local store
That's pretty cool.
that's there. I mean, and it was pretty cheap. I mean, probably $10-12 if that. And
Yeah.
they're very rare. At that time I'd never seen that before. So it was something that very unique, and it just I'm a fan of Skeletor more of probably of any of the figures, and it just kind of was like, that's really cool.
That's really
Gotta
cool.
buy
Yeah.
it.
Have you guys been to that store? I like
Yeah.
it a lot. You been there?
Yeah, I've been there. The last time I was there, I haven't been there in like a year. I don't live in town, so I don't get there often. But the last time I was there, there were a bunch of loose G.I. Joe figures hanging in individual bags, like 20 or 30 of them.
Huh.
Yeah,
And
I think they moved.
I bought 'em all.
Yeah. I think they have some more. They're still in like individual bags.
Yeah.
But they've moved. When you first came in, there was like a big kind of a wall there. They've kind of pushed that back around so it kind of opens up more, and they put like the register in the middle of the store almost,
Yeah.
and then put stuff around it. And they have some Thundercat stuff there too. But I don't know. I don't really collect
stuff?
Thundercats.
The ones that I bought, it wasn't necessarily anything that I needed, but there were a few of them that I needed, and they were like maybe $15 to $20 a piece. But there were like 4 or 5 of them that I needed, and I was just like, man, I don't want to spend that much money. And so I was like, hey, there's like 20 or 30 figures here. I told the guy, I was like, I'll just give you $100 for all of them. And he was like, let me double check with the guy that's actually selling them. And so he called, and I knew who was selling them anyway, but I called him and said, yeah, I'll do that. So I think I ended up paying like $3 a figure or something instead of the 10 or $15 per that I needed to pay for the 5 that were there that I wanted. I just bought them all. And which it actually turned out really well, because a lot of the things, like a lot of the problems that people have with like G.I. Joe's, the plastic sold, and some of the the molds, like around the elbow joints and stuff, the plastic gets old, it shrinks, and it cracks.
Right.
And so I have some figures with cracked elbows. Well, some of those figures had better arms, so I've been able to like take pieces apart and swap parts and make a good figure.
Nice.
So it was worth it to me to spend $3 on this figure that I didn't need because I already had, but it's got an arm without a crack in it. So yeah, that's something that I look for when I do go to that store, is stuff that I don't have, but I might be in a little better condition than what I've got.
You been, Spoot?
I have, and it's been a while. And so we have them around here a lot. They're kind of flea market
Yeah.
stores,
Right.
and that there's booths that different people have stuff in. And so it's a pretty random selection of crap.
A very, very wide selection of things,
Yeah.
from old mason jars to, but I am
Vinyl records, pretty much.
yeah, a
everything in
lot of
between.
different things.
But I
and
did pick
it's
up that Dinobot for you. That was there. That was there.
crazy. So it's pretty cool.
Just
But
randomly
I
there.
saw they had one of the mini Transformer city pieces, but they were one $120 for it or something.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
way too much.
Yeah, I want to shout out Jake Lee. He's in our Facebook group, and he's
Okay.
posted some things. And I
Yep.
think he's the guy that
Jake Rush, yeah.
works there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I don't know if he's part owner
I don't
or
know.
what. He and his dad
And I-
have something to do with it.
And I talk to him all the time, and I
Yeah.
see him at Hy-Vee, whatever. And so, he's a toy guy. So we got lucky that he's at least part of this store somehow, and he's gotten us some toys into our little town, and that's pretty cool because that's not normal for this.
Yeah.
And he does have some turtles there too.
Yeah.
Which, if I've told Corey this, is like, once I finish He-Man, I want to move on to finishing turtle collections. But
Yeah.
I should do it now because they're so cheap now.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, they are.
And they're kind of flush in the market now, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah. It's like I feel like I have to, as a completist, I have to do other stuff first. I feel like.
I was just thinking while we were talking, maybe we can get them to sponsor our podcast, or we can have a little, since it's our hometown store, we can get them to put a little section up of Cracktastic plastic
That'd be
pics
cool.
of our
That'd be
toys or
awesome.
something. I don't know. It's dumb, but anyway. Yeah. Cool store. It's neat that we have one in Ottumwa. And yeah, what's called Corner Collectibles Flea Market. It's at 102 West Main Street here in Ottumwa, Iowa. If you're around in Friday, Saturday, definitely want to stop by. All right.
Yeah. I don't know their hours exactly,
I know.
but just
Daytime.
go. Yeah, daytime is probably
Yep.
Go around,
Safe.
1 in the afternoon, someone will be there.
yes. That's probably correct.
Well, let's get into our new segment. I'm really excited about that because we get to hear back from you, the toy collectors yourselves. You get to, this is your chance to comment on the show, take part in the show in a new segment we're calling Talking Toys.
Talking Toys. I am Corey, and I am going to read some of your hate mail. No. So, the topic for tonight was Grail Toys, so we put the question out in the land of Facebook and Instagrams and Tweetsville. What is your Grail? What's your Holy Grail toy? So, we've had some responses. Tad Good says, if masks count as toys, the Holy Grail will always be an original 1975 Captain Kirk.
That's the
Obviously,
Halloween
I read
mask.
that like
Yep.
Captain Kirk
That was
because,
good.
I'm terrible at that. Jake Book, good friend of ours, big Masters of the Universe fan, says, an original He-Man for sure. Just holding it in your hands was like having the power. Also, the design and texture of that
Power of
action
what, Corey?
figure is pretty hard to beat. Having the power. Now, talk amongst yourselves while I find
I just,
the others,
but
which I have found.
I also wanted to shout out Jake. It is kind of his fault that this podcast now exists.
Jake Book.
Jake Book helped
Yes.
birth it into this world. It's his fault because he is always bugging us. He's living over in Kentucky, and when he was back this last time, I remember us doing a time after we got together and played some music, we're like, those Motu toys just hit. And I was like, I was in that store.
Line, yeah.
I was in the store earlier and I saw all these and I picked up a Skeletor and he's like, oh shit, remember? And then that night we ran out right before Walmart was closing and they'd all bought them because we have like actual toy collectors in our town. It's crazy.
Yeah, he keeps sending me messages of
because you're
he's like, okay, is this a good deal? I saw this on eBay. Is this a good deal? I'm like, well,
Jake.
I would pay this much, but
Right.
but yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, thank you, Jake, for helping make this happen. Anyway, continue. Corey.
Moving on, Chris Simmons, friend of ours.
Turnip.
We know him as Turnip, Nips, other names. He says, at this point, I've got all my Grail toys. My first Grail was a G1 Fortress Maximus. I got a Car Robots, Robots in Disguise US, Brave Max years ago, and that's close enough. One of the problems I'm finding with any that might be a new Grail toy is that a lot of the high-end items are getting to be too high-end and pricing me out of caring, which is an issue that we have
definitely
been talking about.
talked about and will talk about in future episodes. He goes on to say, for instance, the HasLab Unicron that just came out would be awesome to have, but it was $500 during the initial order period, and now as much as $1,500 on the secondary market. Yeah, that's scalpers be scalping and be pissing me off.
Flyboy literally yesterday sent me a link to a site that's like, now shipping for only $1,500. And he's like, you're thinking about it too, right? Like, no, but yes, but no.
Andrew Wassam is in Elgin's camp here. He said that the Eternia playset from original Masters of the Universe would be his Grail. Brian Clark, he has said that that's a long damn list, but I'll narrow it down to two. First, the Knott's Godzilla from Wonderfest 2019, which was based on how Godzilla was drawn in the storyboards for the 1954 film. Second, the Dynamite Action diecast Super Robot Red Baron from my favorite non-Ultraman Tokusatsu show. And
he put some pictures.
He put some pictures in, and they're very cool.
So if you go to our Facebook page at Cracktastic Plastic, you can see those.
Yes. And Andrew Wassam, I don't know if I know this guy. Do I know him? You know him, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's on Attack of the Killer podcast with me. Yeah.
So Andrew, he said, he was the Eternia playset guy, and he also said, and a Kenner Shuttle Tidarium from '83. Larry Watanabe has a fantastic toy collection.
Larry.
We love Larry. We have seen his collection. He loves G.I. Joes. He's more of a modern guy, so he and I had fisticuffs over that because he wouldn't give me his vintage stuff. But he says that his Holy Grail, and he has posted a picture, is My Hot Toys Hudson.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It is a William Hudson figure from the Alien series.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, as far as like the picture on the box, looks a lot like the 12-inch G.I. Joe action figures from like the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s era. But also kind of looks like the head sculpts from like Team America World Police. So like, that is all of our answers to our question that we put forth about what is your Holy Grail.
So going back to Larry, when we went to his house and like looked at all of his toys there, he had a bunch of Motu stuff, but it wasn't vintage. Like he had vintage stuff, but he didn't have it out displayed because he said he didn't like how they looked. But he still collected them and like had them in like a box. But all he had displayed were like these custom, almost like 2000X style, but more bigger figures and stuff like that, which looked cool too. But I was like, well, if you don't like how they look, just like you said, like just pass those over.
Larry, come on, quit hoarding it.
But he did turn us on to that store that
he did take
that
us
was
down
in town, which I found some good stuff there too.
I got one of my awe strikers there, and I I found one of the newer like early 2000s repaint of G.I. Joe, like the Cobra Viper figure. and I broke it while I was in the store. So I was going to buy it anyway, but he's like, well, it's broken now. I was like, yeah, but I broke it, so I'm going to give you full price. And the guy was like, no, just, I'll knock $5 off. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. They were cheaply made and they break. Here, take it. All right, cool.
Yeah, so maybe if we ever get to go on tour again, we can go to Chicago. I know you guys are questionable on that, but we could go there to at least get Larry on the show. We could do a podcast.
I mean, we could go
there.
up to Chicago to the toy store and then go down to Joliet and have an actual kid show.
All right. Hey, okay. That's enough band politics already. Well, that's it, guys. We did it. Episode 2 in the bag. That's a pretty good one. There's a lot of toys out there for us still to get. There's a lot to find.
There's a lot to get to just from our own collections.
Oh, I know. And that hunt is what keeps us going. I know that. Well, thanks everyone for listening. I just want everyone to know that I know we've mentioned it, but you can always stop by our Facebook group and like us there. And on Instagram, all of that's at Cracktastic Plastic.
Instant grams.
And on Twitter, it's Cracktastic Pod. Give us a follow there. We'll keep in touch. And thank you all so much for listening. And we'll see you on the next episode. Later.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.